Click. Click. Oh shit. I don't know, wait. Did the sound go through? Because I unplugged the gaming headset, didn't I? Whatever. We're beginning. I don't know if sound went through for the... I packed my headphones into my bag because I wasn't planning on using them tonight. But I think because I unplugged them, no sound for the intro may have gone through. Oh well. Such is life. I'm flying out tomorrow. Today was weird. Like, no internet till, almost 6 o'clock today. So I really couldn't see much what was going on during the daytime. There's like a spot near my window that if I put the phone against the window, I can get 1 to 2 bars of 4G, and every once in a while I'll check something. But I just didn't do much. Just did some errands, getting ready for my trip. Looks like they hammered GME down to 121 or something, somewhere around there, and then I went right back up to the 130s. Would have been a great day to get some call options if that's what you're into, or pick up more shares. They're working hard at trying to short this sucker down before week 3 is kaput. That's what we're getting. That's where we are. Any other big news, Monkey? AMC Bigums is pointing to the fact about all these family firms, which is what Archegos was. They're a giant loophole. So there was an article in Bloomberg, Forbes, something week or two ago about how hedge funds are losing clients. The investors are pulling out. They're losing clients. And because they're getting terrible returns. The returns on average for hedge funds in the U.S. was 8% last year, which when the S&P 500 is 24%, if you're a billionaire, you just put your money in the index and you're done. You don't have to do anything else. You're getting better returns than any of the hedge funds. So you may as well just do that. Another reason why these hedge funds are dying is because the Dodd-Frank bill forced them to do all this reporting, but left a huge glaring loophole for family funds, where family funds don't have to report ownership. They can buy and sell in secret. They can take positions in secret, and they don't have to report to anybody. So only folks who know what they have are essentially the prime brokers or investment banks that are lending to them. And if those prime brokers and investment banks aren't required to report on family fund action, then what the word, they don't do anything. The family funds, there's about 7,000 to 10,000 of them worldwide. 40% or more are in the United States, and these family funds control $7 trillion in assets under management. And these family funds, they can be things like Mark Zuckerberg's holdings, or even Ryan Cohen's holdings is a family fund. So Ryan Cohen has his stock owned inside of a family fund that he controls. And they can do all these different plays they want, and no one gets to look into it. AOC is trying to close that loophole so we can see what these billionaires are playing with. Because remember, if you have a 30-to-1 leverage, right, that means that there's, $210 trillion in margin potentially for these family funds that they're playing with. And that's a lot. That is a lot of money. I mean, $210 trillion in margin potentially for these 10,000 family funds, and there's $7 trillion in assets under management. I mean, this is lending on top of lending on top of lending on top of lending. And if they're all making the same bets, if they're all like a school of fish and they're turning the same way, this way and that, and they all end up like spitting through a turbine and a dam, it's going to grind everything up. So it would be great if they could do reporting so that we could verify if all these family funds are, if you got 10,000 family firms and 5,000 of them are all shorting GameStop, wouldn't you want to know? Even if you're one of those family funds, you're like, maybe I should short a stock. I'm going to short GameStop. But if all of them have the same idea, it's like spontaneous generation, like ping, like the invention of the bow and arrow across entire continents at the same time. If they all have the same idea, then they all might be screwed. it'd be really great if regulators could like peek into that stuff. Even other funds to be able to peek into it so they know what other people's plays are. It's a very interesting. And they talked a little bit about it last winter when Archegos went under, but no one's really talked about the grand scale, and the $7 trillion under management of these family funds is absolutely mind-boggling. So I recommend watch AMC Big Guns posted a little video the other night about it, and I recommend it. It's kind of eye-opening. Okay. Oh, turning off the intro. Bam. Haha, suckers. Okay, CNBC, this is 1337 Gaming. CNBC advisor Michael Kiao went on air today telling people to buy puts on XRP. Today, the ETF was short 253%. Damn. Squeeze the XRP, I guess. Yeah. CNBC seems to devote a great deal of time to screwing over their viewers. That seems to be their MO, is that they get people on there to hold the bag for them, and then they can make money off of you. So it's often take a lot of what they say with a grain of salt there. Okay. Boom. Had some cancel bubble. Had some Mo dividends come in the other day. Dumped them to GME, not a ton, but picked up 5 more at 122. Nice job. Payday is Friday. Hoping to pick up XX more. Get it, folks. Just the more we buy, the more it's consolidated, the more they're screwed in the end. Yeah. Okay. Then people are talking about Gary Gensler. His hands are tied. I think his hands are pretty tied. Andrew Stewart's got a good question. If the Rocinante is moving at X speed and weighs 100 tons and shoots straight forward, will it slow to half speed if all the ammunition it shoots weighs 50 tons? Well, that's going to depend upon the velocity at which it's shot forward, because momentum is mass times velocity. So if you're shooting it, if the Rocinante is going, I don't know, 100,000 miles an hour, and you shoot a 50-ton mass forward at 100,000 miles an hour, yes, that should have the Rocinante speed. If you're shooting it forward at like 5 miles an hour, it's not going to do much. It's just like a gentle shove. And the Rocinante is going to keep hauling ass at, whatever appreciable speed, 99 point whatever percent it was traveling before. But good question. Oh, shoot. There's super chats in here. Travis Wright, 13. So say MMTLP shares become shares in an oil company instead of a cash dividend. Would you sell immediately for cash value or hold the stock? Happy birthday, not financial advice. I think it depends upon what the cash dividend is, right? So if they're offering a cash dividend of $20 a share, right? I'm going to take that $20 for sure. I'm gonna hold until the moment of record happens, and then I'm going to see what shenanigans happen, because there may be a bunch of hedge funds that don't have the $20 to pay on those shares. That's a lot of cash. I mean, if it's just the float, if it's just the 163 million shares at $20, you're looking at what, 2 billion, somewhere around there. We go scene. We go calculator. There it is. So 123 times $20. You're at 3.3 billion. So $3.3 billion is just the float at $20 per share. I can't guarantee it's going to be $20 per share, but the value of the oil field of today's oil prices, that seems pretty legit. $3 to $4 billion for the sale of those fields. So if it's $20 a share, that's $3.3 billion in liability if they've just shorted the float of that stock. If they've shorted it beyond that, if they shorted it, 10x, then you're looking at $30 billion in liability. That's an incredible amount of money, and they don't have the cash for that. So if they don't pay the payment in lieu, the PIL, on those shares, then there might actually be a squeeze on the shares that happen when the lenders or the brokers have to do a recall. Like, hey, you didn't pay your PIL. You're in violation of our loan, which is you have to pay me all dividends that are issued. So I'm going to need those shares back. So now they might get squeezed to the point where the share might be worth more than the $20, and they might be facing liquidation. And so, yeah, once I get my $20 per share, I might wait to sell to see what happens if they don't pay on a lot of those shares. We might get a little squeeze off of that. And that squeeze will probably result in, buying of metamaterial stock and see that price go up as well. And metamaterials will be getting a boatload of cash out of it. They are the majority shareholder in what is to be Oilco. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of which we get to benefit slightly. And they'll be getting hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in cash out of the deal. So, yeah. And then SJ says, intro, you grok? I grok, baby. Chakuseki. I just had a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I've got some spicy burps, cinnamon burps. Excuse me. Have you listened to Isaac Arthur on YouTube? Sci-fi author who talked about stuff including civilizations, farming, hawking radiation from black holes. I have not listened to Isaac Arthur. Nor have I read his stuff. I'll have to check Isaac Arthur out. Farming, hawking radiation from black holes. Interesting. I don't know if hawking radiation is that big, if you'd be able to farm it. I'll have to read it. I'll have to check it out. See what it's all about. But thank you for the recommendation. Isaac Arthur. I'm only bringing one book with me on my trip. And my plan is to find something at one of the bookstores in the airport, and that'll be my second or third books. I don't know, but just I might need something a little trashy, something a little sci-fi. I don't know. See what's popular and popping up at the Hudson News or whatever they call that place. Ooh, and Joey Geiger. Hi, Joey. Thank you. Okay. Did I scroll too far? I am. Let's see here. Oh, Get Real wants me to tell my plans about selling shares during MOAS. He's hoping to do a little clippy clip. Apparently some YouTubers get the opportunity to have a little clip button on their video where you can just pull out like 60-second clips. And it's an experiment that YouTube's doing, and I do not have permission to do that yet. So you got to find it the hard way, which is, how many minutes in are we? We're 12, almost 13 minutes in. Okay. My plans for selling during MOAS is what I call the ladder. I'm going to be climbing the ladder. So we expect the share price on these stocks to get to ridiculous levels, and for GameStop especially to, people who sell on the peak might be selling for 6, 7, 8 figures. Who knows? Just a stupid amount of money. I think the stock can easily get above $100,000 during a squeeze where everybody is getting liquidated like crazy. And I want to start at $100,000. I sell one share at $100,000. Not only have I repaid all my investments, but that's the price that if I'm forced to, I can dump everything and retire in comfort. I'm happy with that. Some folks have a lower number because they're able to pick up more shares. They got into this much earlier. They got in at $4 a share rather than my $40, and they're cool. They can sell for $10,000, and he's like, I think if Girk sells at $10,000, he's a billionaire. Way to go, Girk. Good job. You won at life. Fantastic. I was a latecomer, and so I don't have the opportunity. But if I sell $100,000 a share, and if I need to, and I need to just dump everything, I can retire. I'm happy. We're cool. My goal, though, is to sell that one share, and then from there, set a limit order for 50% higher for the next share. And if that triggers, boom, at 150, then I can set the next one at 50% higher than that at 225 and sell that, and then work my way up the ladder. And somewhere along the way, there's probably lots of trade halts and weird things happen, and we'll probably have problems where liquidity runs out and needs to be infused by the Federal Reserve or the Treasury. Insurance policies kick in, whatever. There's going to be all sorts of weird things happening with that, and it's going to take days and days and days and days for this to happen. But if I work on my 50% ladder, right, and I raise the price by 50% each time, then by my 7th share sold, I'm selling for over $1 million. By my 14th share sold, I'm selling over $20 million. By my 21st share sold, if the price gets to absolutely ridiculously stupid levels, I've made $1 billion. And I still have X number of shares left to sell. Now, is it likely it's going to ladder up in such a way that if you sell one at a time, you're going to be selling shares for $80 and $90 million a share? I don't know. I don't think so. But the way the trading computers, I think, are going to operate is they're going to take every share that's available, which means anything offered at market value, they're taking it. Anything offered at the lowest ask price for a limit order, they're taking it. And they're going to work their way through every single solitary share at the bottom level of that ask price until it's gone. And then they're going to move up to the next level. So if everything's at $1,000, they'll take everything at $1,000. And they'll work their way up to $1,000.01. Take everything at $1,000.01. Then they'll work $1,000.02. And you might work your way up, and people will be jumping in because, oh my God, $1,000 a share. They might be selling and freaking out because they've got 10,000 shares and see you later. But there will come a time where they'll get to $10,105 a share, and the next level of limit orders in there will be at $69,000 or $42,069 or whatever. And it's going to be a big jump. And the trading computers, their goal is to pick up everything as fast as they can. Just want gobble, 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 gobble. Because they need to close these positions as fast as possible and get this over with. They've liquidated. They're taking money from the reserve, taking money from the DTCC, whatever. These trading computers want to close everything, get this over with, and move on with their lives. That's the entire thing they're programmed to do. They're not going to sit around and nitpick and wait and hem and haw and wheel and deal. They just have to get shares, close this out. Because the longer they wait, the worse it gets. So you may as well just do it now, get it over with, done. That being said, right, these trading computers will come to a time when they don't need any more shares, when they've purchased the last share they need to close their positions. And when that happens, the price is going to crater so incredibly fast because there's no more demand. The only reason you can sell a share for $10 million is because someone has to buy it for $10 million. The minute they don't have to buy it anymore, they're done. So if you're planning on selling on the way down, I don't think you can. If you're like, oh, well, trading computer turned off, I guess it's time to sell. No one wants your shares because there's no retail investors going to buy your shares for $10 million a share. No day trader is going to buy it for that much. No hedge fund's going to buy it. No one's going to buy it for that much. They're going to wait for it to crater back down to a reasonable level, and then they'll buy back in. That's it. So I am not holding out hope. And there's lots of people on Wall Street Bets and RGME and other YouTubers that say, oh, sell on the way down. I don't know if you can. That's why I'd rather play it safe. And I'm still going to make $1 gajillion doing it this way. That I'm going to sell on the way up. And if you know anything about exponential growth, you know that a doubling rate from a 50% markup is essentially in 2 trades. You've doubled the amount of money that you were earning before. So it doesn't take too long. And I think it's a great method if you have a low number of shares like I do. If you have a huge amount of shares, who gives a rip? You're going to be a billionaire anyway. Who cares? But for those of us who didn't get in as early and didn't have as much to invest, a ladder method, I think, is the way to go. And I'm sure that someone will clip this, post it on Wall Street Bets, and I'll get yelled at by a bunch of people saying, not selling on the way down is FUD. Dude, no one's going to buy your shit on the way down. They just aren't. There's no one available to buy it. They're done buying. So, yeah, there you go. Hope that worked for you, Get Real. Super chat. The Oat Milk Man has, I don't know what that thing is, but glasses are, it's a game controller with sunglasses. Thank you. How does someone get a job to make the little gifts and they think, I'll make a game controller? He's going to be crossing his arms and those sunglasses are going to rain down on his face. What mind? I would never have thought of that. Fabian Garcia Super chats. At what point do we realize that MOAS won't happen due to whatever reason? I don't think it can not happen. They're so short and no one has the cash to buy these things back that they've got no other option but to eventually squeeze. They can put it off for as long as they can. They can maybe try to push off liabilities on other people, doing swaps and whatever. But I don't think they can avoid it in the end. This is really, really, really hurting hedge funds. These hedge funds are losing clients. They're losing assets under management. They're having to take money out and pay people. And so many of them are in the red this year that I don't think there's much survival left in a lot of them. And looking at these family funds that can essentially do this stuff without anyone looking over their shoulder and in secret, it seems a lot more appealing to not have your money in a hedge fund, but to form your own family fund and do all your trading in secret and have all the shell companies listed under you. You don't have to report. And I think the hedge funds are on their way out. That they're a dying breed, and they can't compete with us anymore. They are done. We're winning. They're losing, and that's where we are. I don't think they can hold out forever. I think MOAS has to happen because these books have to get cleared. People need their money, and the hedge funds have to die a blaze of glory. They're either going to die in a blaze of glory in MOAS, or they're going to die in some sort of whimper. But I don't think they can actually whimper their way out because there's a whole bunch of folks above them that are now liable for all that stuff. Okay. Was that work for you, Get Real? I hope it did. Okay. Now people are arguing about how clips work. I think Gherkin has a clip button. I think that's the one that has a clip. He's allowed to have a clip button, but they didn't give me a clip button. But I'm a youngster in this game, so perhaps they want me to be more established, more reserved, more gray in my beard to be allowed to have the clip button. I don't know. Okay. Ba-ba-bum. And welcome, Beans Brigade Gaming. Hello. Pooper, Scoopers, Execs. Hello. Good name. Okay. Searching. People are still arguing about clips in the chat here. Need to get past that. Get Real. Houston's not smart enough to do it. I am not. I cannot figure it out. Everything is get downloaded and organized and blah, 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 blah. And I don't have time to go through my own like 2-3 hour videos and pull things out. That's why, give me to 100,000 subscribers. I will get a producer and they'll just have to do that stuff for me. That'd be fantastic. Until then, I'm going to take my $28 round trip flight to Switzerland and go skiing. Okay. Everyone's still trying to guess my actual birthday. There is a person, I think, who guessed it pretty accurately not too long ago. And I give him props. Some lady, she was like, I think it's this date. And I was like, I'm not answering. Okay. Houston, can you explain what NFTs are and they actually have a use? This is from Bill M. Well, NFTs do have uses, non-fungible tokens. And they can be used for stupid things as well, which I think like monkey pictures are kind of a dumb use of NFTs. So, you can take a digital object, a video game, a piece of art, music, movie, whatever, and you can cryptograph the thing. You can encrypt the thing and assign an ownership to it so that it can't be changed, it can't be funged. It is this work of art that is locked into ownership with a particular crypto wallet. And these things can have uses. So like the GameStop potential for the GameStop marketplace is things like you buy a video game, it's encrypted NFT, and it gets downloaded onto your computer. And after you're done playing it, you can then sell this video game and transfer it to someone else's wallet, and then they can enjoy that video game. Just like you bought a cartridge of Mario Kart for your Nintendo 64, and you're done playing with it, your kids maybe gone off to college, I don't know, you took that thing to GameStop, you sold it to them for $5, it turned around sold it for $30, whatever. But with this marketplace, the markup isn't necessarily needed anymore for GameStop to make their profit, because every time that game is sold across the network, GameStop or the creators of that NFT get 2.5% of the sales. Every single time from now until infinity, until computers don't work anymore. Another use for NFTs is in-game purchases, rewards, downloadable content, things like that can be encrypted. So if you have a one-of-a-kind, I don't know, hat with a feather in it for your Zelda character, you can sell that to somebody who really wants that little digital hat, and you can trade it for, I don't know, a magic wand for your Harry Potter game or whatever, or get crypto cash for it. It also is a great way for a market for these gold miners that were in the Philippines and China and wherever else, that were spending all day just mining gold at internet cafes for World of Warcraft people to level them up, and they'd sell the characters because here's a level 60 character. You pay me $1,000 because I spent 2 months getting this guy to level 60. Those guys can then, reap the benefits of this NFT world. If we go to the financial side, we want a blockchain securities. You can, since stocks are trading digitally, you can blockchain a security. You can create an NFT of a company's stock, and then you can tokenize the NFT. You can break it into 100 million tokens, and those tokens can now trade like the stock, exactly as stock. And it's not fungible. It can't be naked shorted. It only can transfer from one wallet to another with a contract. That stuff is really useful. Creating pictures of monkeys and selling them for $400,000 is fantastic for the guy who sold for $400,000. But those things start to act like the greater fool fallacy, where the value only comes from a bigger idiot coming along willing to pay more. Combined with the fact that people are using their monkey pictures or their whale pictures or their lions with parkas pictures or whatever, that they're using these for explicit money laundering. They will take a wallet they have a whole bunch of Ethereum in, they'll mint a picture of a monkey, and then they'll sell the monkey to themselves for a ridiculous amount of money. $10 million, let's say. And that $10 million just transfers from the same person with two different wallets. This type of stuff is like illegal in the stock market, but because the regular market, the crypto market is unregulated, they can do this crap all day long. So now you got a $10 million monkey, and you wait a few days or weeks, and you put the monkey up for sale. And someone comes along, and they might not buy it for $10 million, but they bought it for $1.5 million. Cool. Previously, you wouldn't have made $1.5 million for that monkey, but because there was a history of transactions where it was worth millions of dollars, you can now sell it for $1.5 million. Or you just got a whole bunch of crypto because you are a ransomware scammer, and you held a bunch of computers hostage, got a bunch of Ethereum in it, and it's now on a criminal account. Well, you can take that Ethereum, you can buy some monkeys from yourself and transfer around all these different wallets, and boom, you just washed all that cash, essentially. Now you can put it in your Coinbase account, sell it for cash, pull it out, and you're good to go. So that's a lot of the ways I think these NFTs are being used. And other than selling them to gullible folks, buying monkeys for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think most of the transactions, like 97% of the transactions of these NFTs, are taking place with like 1% of the wallets. They're just laundering money all over the place using it. So that's kind of the basis for the NFTs. There are very real practical uses for it, We just haven't seen it yet. It's all theoretical. We just need to put it into practice, and then we can go. That work for you? I hope so. Okay. Autistic polar bear. You need a lava lamp and mood lighting if you're going after dark episodes. Yeah. I need to, like, the other YouTubers, they got like cool purple lights and they do all this stuff. I have one ring light that reflects off my glasses horribly and one overhead light, and that's all I got in this room. And books. We'll get there. We'll get there someday. Just, I don't know. Just me, monkey butt, some nipple rings, and a purple lava lamp. We'll have some after dark shows. This shirt looks a little too normal. Pete Diaz, I want you to know this is a very fancy shirt. This is a very fancy shirt that has cars inside the cuffs, and it's got crazy embroidery along along the inseam of the buttons of the shirt. This is a very fancy, very expensive shirt. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth. I think this was like several $100s new. It was a gift from somebody. I'll take it. I'll wear it. But yeah, this is a pretty tame shirt for me. It's my I didn't have internet all day shirt. That's all Chris in it. So, yeah, there we go. All right. People singing praise of Isaac Arthur. Sounds like I should read some of his stuff, because I have not read it. Now everyone's talking about my stream output, 720p. I don't know. It does HD automatically, and I guess this is what I can upload at. If I try to go higher, you guys probably would just see me as like 10 frames a second or something. Okay. And my internet's crap. It is crap. Even at highfalutin, high speed wonderfulness, it is garbage at uploading. Although my roommate, who was constantly like editing terabytes of movies on his computer, is gone now, so I think I do have a bit more of the bandwidth than I had before. But yeah, he's like, I got to upload a terabyte of an entire 120-minute movie. I'm like, cool. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Dustin Height, Houston. I'm late to the party, but that shirt I sent should be at your P.O. box. I got one today, a really cool one that has a buffalo on it that says Surf Wyoming. And I think that's going to be my ski t-shirt for the week. I usually do like thermals and then put a cool t-shirt on and then my jacket. So when I eat lunch, everyone's going to see my Surf Wyoming shirt at lunch. And they go, yeah. Give a good nod. Used to be, I've got another one that's the Icelandic Phallological Museum. So it's just a big picture of a wiener. That one always brings people joy. See a big old dong on my chest. Okay. And yes, if you are sending self-addressed envelopes for stickers, I have, 97 of them left. If you're sending self-addressed envelope for stickers, it's going to be a few weeks until I can get to them because I am leaving tomorrow, leaving the country for a little while. So just know that I will get to them as soon as I get back, and you will get sent your stickers. So, yes. Meow meow. So we fix our dwindling groundwater issues in the breadbasket of the U.S. Could rainwater capture work? I don't see why not. The groundwater is basically what's percolated through the earth over millions and millions and millions of years. In some places, it percolates faster, like the state of Hawaii, big island of Hawaii. The water percolates really quick because that basalt is really porous and it works its way down, and there's just so much water there. But then again, you've got rainforests at high elevations that are getting 400 inches of rain a year, and that water's got to go somewhere. In the Midwest, you're not quite that rainy. And a lot of that water is really, really, really ancient. One thing I think municipalities should do is if you have a water treatment system, you treat the poo and the pee and all that stuff. You take that human waste and you treat it and turn it into water. I think they should inject that water into the earth and not just flush it down storm drains or into rivers. I think they should literally inject in the earth and rebuild the groundwater supply via water treatment. The ways to do it, probably dig a giant hole, fill it with gravel, dump the water in, and just let it percolate that way. Or going to old wells and just forcing it back in there, pressurizing it. But I think that's what we, in certain areas, we need to speed up the replenishment of those groundwaters. There's an island just south of me, Vashon Island, that essentially their groundwater's tapped out. So if you want to build a home there, you got to tear down another home. They literally cannot add to their population because hey, no more groundwater, we're done. And so as a result, home prices keep going up because you can't tear down a forest and put in 30 new homes. You got to tear down 30 homes if you want to do that. There's talk about doing that in Bainbridge, but our groundwater comes from this aquifer that comes from the Olympic Mountains and seems to be replenishing just fine. It's because there's a bunch of rainforests there. So, not too worried about that here. Yeah. But oh, I'll wake you up. I was going to get you dreaming. Making your Berkey noises. Okay. We tried. There we go. I didn't mean to wake you up. I should get a monkey microphone as well. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you. Oh, I know. Aw, what a dick. Okay. Yeah. So there are things we can do to improve groundwater. And yeah, I'm sure there's other options. And so a lot of places we're not pulling groundwater, pulling river water. So if you're along Colorado, and you're pulling tons of water from the Colorado so that it now never reaches the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of California, and you might need to, instead of injecting into the ground, send it back down the river so that it actually can, get to the delta and enrich the lives of everyone who lives along there. Okay. Oh yeah, and apparently AMC Insider sold more shares today. And why are they selling today? It's already being short attacked right now. Are they helping that? Wouldn't you want to wait until it's back up to $40 if you're going to sell, make twice as much money? I don't know what's going on, man. Okay. Cat, quit meowing. Meow meow. Opinions on Hyliion, not the stock price, the tech. Hyliion. Is that the Chinese thing? I don't know enough about this stuff. It looks like it's a generator company, right? Gas-fueled powertrains. I'll have to look them up. I'm sorry, Meow Meow. I don't know enough about them to have an opinion one way or the other. Stock price kind of meh. $5 a share. So they're building generators and hybrids and trucks and things. So I don't know. I'll look them up. I don't know enough about them to offer opinions one way or the other. But it sounds like they just make generators. Fancy name generators. Okay. Jerry Diamond, Wall Street bets Reddit, everyone hyping up options when Wall Street bet banned GME talk. Now GME options promo. Just curious, or can we ask Houston his thoughts? Well, apparently they got rid of, what was the guy's name? Whoever was the guy deleting all the GME stuff from Wall Street Bets, they finally overthrew him and got rid of him, and now GME is all over the board again. So apparently there's one dude keeping everyone from posting about GameStop and Wall Street Bets. So, that it's amazing what a difference a day can make when you get rid of a gatekeeper like that. And, you know, I understand the argument that Wall Street Bets is about other things, not GME all the time. But if you delete all the GME, which is, let's face it, what most people are in right now, then what do you have? You've got a group no one wants to use. So, yeah. But it's always drama happening on Wall Street Bets, or even any of the other, you know, from RGME to Super Stonk to whatever. Like the hedge funds figure out how to get in there. They offer people a lot of money for their usernames. You'll see advertisements like, "Hey, if you got a, you know, this many karma, we'll pay you this money." They infiltrate that way, and so yeah, it, you know, someone offers you $1 million because you were an editor or moderator at Wall Street Bets, $1 million for your username. It's hard to say no. I mean, are you spending $1 million worth of time on Wall Street Bets? Can you just create a new Reddit account and go from there? I mean, I'd take the $1 million and then also report to the SEC as a whistleblower that they just offered me $1 million for my account so they could spread FUD and manipulate a stock, and then I'll take whatever fine they get. I'll get my my payback from that as well. So yeah, there you go. That's the plan. Take their money and then take their money again. All right. Da, 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 da. All right. Sorry. Super chats make it easy for me to see which thing. Like my donation for your lava lamp and nipple rings. Thank you. Thank you, Sinchan. And as I scroll, people talking about the Wall Street Bets thing, getting through there. Hey, I'm only 20 minutes behind. That's not too bad. I'm 20 minutes into the show and only 20 minutes behind. That's better than usual. Ricky Bobby, Houston, do you really think GME is going to get near 10 million a share? And if so, how? No, I don't think it's like a floor. I honestly, people are like, the floor is 10 million. I don't think the floor is 10 million. When people start to see zeros in their accounts that are just ridiculous, their brain goes, sell. That's what happens. And I think a lot of folks are going to pay per hand at only $100,000 a share or whatever. Because they're now filthy rich and they don't have to think about anything ever again. And they can just sleep in a pool of supermodels and drive their Lamborghinis and they're happy. But if the trading computers are what's doing the buying, and they are buying only what's available at the lowest possible price, and they clear out all the limit orders at $10,000, all the limit orders at $20,000, all the limit orders at $69,420, all the limit orders at $100,000, all the limit orders at $1 million. And if all they can do all day long is only buy what's available, and for a moment, for an instant, for a fraction of a second, the only stock available is one share at a limit order for $10 million, then that's what they're going to buy. So, someone somewhere along that route is going to be that teeny tiny little share, that one little share that's sitting up here way above all the other asks. And for a brief moment in time, when that share gets cleared out $1 million and there happens to be a $9 million gap to the next ask price, some dumb computer is going to go, buy. And the price will go, poof, that candle's going to be gigantic. Because when this happens, the market makers cannot flood the market with naked shares. Why? Because the market makers have failed their capital requirements and they too are probably being liquidated. So no one is going to be able to keep the price tampered down with naked shares because no one's going to be allowed to be generating them. The hedge funds won't be able to generate them. The options guys won't be able to generate them. The market maker guys won't be able. No one will be able to generate any of these naked shares because they're all being vaporized. And when they're being vaporized, they have no access to any of the other plays they're making before. Essentially, it's like being evicted. You're sitting there watching, the county sheriff or someone moving all your crap out of your house. You have no ability to use the superpowers you had before. They got taken from you. You are now a Thor who can't pick up his hammer. And that's what we're facing. So, and why would you want to be a market maker trying to dump shares in that point? You see what happens when you mess with that round. Mess with that stuff. They're going to get bit. It's going to hurt. And that's why I think that, yes, somewhere along the way, somebody at some ridiculous level, that guy sells it for $10 million, and then somebody has one sitting at $100 million as the next one up, and then boom, and perhaps the trading computer will be out of liquidity that day, and the price goes right back down until a whole bunch of cash gets dumped back in from the Federal Reserve or the Treasury or whatever, and then the next day start all over again. That's why it's probably going to go like this a whole bunch during MOAS. Okay. Tacky Backy. Houston, do you have any price target for AMC, even if shares get diluted or a board member does a big sell-off? Not financial advice. I'll be honest, my price target for AMC isn't what it used to be. I was thinking AMC could be peaking in the six figures, no problem. But now it seems obvious that the board and executives want to dilute the stock. That they just have some sort of drive inside of them to make as many shares available as possible, and I think that will result in killing rallies. I'm not sure if it will be that it's getting covered, it's getting closed or whatever, the positions are getting closed, but when forced buying happens, when there's margin, something gets called a margin or whatever, and FTDs get triggered, and we do see like a little spike, price goes up, they hammer it right back down. And it seems to be that the board is doing the best they can to drag this out as long as possible. And that's just cruel to us as shareholders. I want the board gone. I haven't been quiet about that. I don't think they have any of our interests. We own the company. It's our company. We have the power. If we want to, we can get rid of them. So why not? Why not get rid of them? Just, run along now. Might be just getting their millions and they're going to be like, peace. Someone else can deal with this bus. Millions of dollars is millions of dollars. You have a few 100,000 shares you can sell at $20 to $40 a share and you can make your millions. You're happy. That's how they roll. They've been doing this for a long time. But if we manage to get a MOAS situation where people are being liquidated and the AMC board doesn't, have a bunch of convertible bonds or issues a bunch of shares or whatever it is that they manage to do, the price can get silly. The price can get to the thousands and thousands of dollars. But I'm not holding my breath now that the board won't do something to kill it. And just absolutely replace the buy pressure with a whole bunch of sell pressure and just keep everything from going crazy. Okay. Okay. Jerry said something that people got mad at. Something fishy. Sorry. I missed a Jerry post that people are yelling at Jerry about. Oh, that's the okay. Jerry Demi saying the options promo push is because it's from is BS because it's from Reddit Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets infiltrated by hedgies, and reason we migrated to Superstonk now, so infiltrated. That's what I was asking. No FUD. No, I mean, I have no doubt that Wall Street Bets was infiltrated. They were offering stuff. No one ever asked me for my Reddit account, but I kind of stopped using Reddit. I only respond if someone tags me and stuff now. I don't spend my time scrolling. But everyone does a great job just sending me stuff, so I don't have to like seek out the news anymore. Someone just messages to me like, "Oh, there's the story. Fantastic. I can read that and learn about it." You guys are my librarians at this point. G Fount YYC. Hey Houston, the CFTC hasn't updated to close the external meetings page in almost a year. What are they supposed to update according to Dodd-Frank? The Consumer Financial, no, it's not the Consumer Financial. It's the what's someone called CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Blah. I don't know when they're supposed to update. What are the rules about that? Press releases, CFTC. Last press release looks like December 27th. No, we got one on the 3rd. So CFTC orders events-based binary options market operator to pay 1.4 million penalty. Okay, we got guys doing wash sales and catching them for that. So they're every looks like they do some dumps on Fridays or maybe Mondays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they dump a whole bunch of news about people that have been busted by stuff, but I don't know when their last meetings. What's Dodd-Frank? CFTC meetings requirements. Consumer Protection Act requires CFTC to conduct. Oops, let's get here. Chrome, bam. That one, done. Okay. External meetings. CFTC commit transparency, rulemaking process. Blah blah lickety schmickety. Reports of study stuff. Required to conduct number of studies, reports, list of studies and reports. Swaps regulation. Yeah, and the swaps regulation. A lot of swaps regulation are for hedge funds and not for family funds. So these Dodd-Frank hedge fund rules do not apply to these family funds, which is another reason why a lot of these family funds are springing up. I mean, if you are a billionaire and you could give your $1 billion to someone like Plotkin who can lose it all, or you can just take a couple of hotshot traders from those hedge funds and be like, do my bidding, make me money, and then you go, okay. And you don't have to worry about any of the rules. You can make as many hidey holes as possible for all your cash. When someone says a billionaire is worth $100 billion, I assume that they're actually worth like $1 trillion because they're offshoring their money everywhere. The data that came out was something ridiculous. Like the Americans' wealthiest people had offshored $40 trillion. Now, if the richest person in the world is worth $300 billion, how are they offshoring $40 trillion with the rest of the folks underneath them? They just aren't the numbers to do that. So when someone's worth $300 billion, 10x it, because they probably have a whole bunch of shell companies that they're playing with. So, yeah. It's just not getting recorded. Okay, swaps. Got distracted. See list of external meetings. There we go. So, looks like they haven't had a meeting since March. Crazy. What's that mean? How? G-Font? I don't know. Why are that? Yeah, they're supposed to update. Why aren't they updated? Or why aren't they having meetings? Records, disposition schedules. Nope, looks like I might have to do an FOI to get that stuff. Huh. External meetings archive. That's where we are. Yeah, they haven't had anything since April 16th. I don't know, man. That's worth looking into for sure. Oh, Under transparency. So they've had meetings, but they haven't updated. So that's what you're talking about. So if they've had meetings, they haven't updated. When? Why? Why haven't they? I don't know. I don't know. Looks like everything is being updated regularly. You know, meetings on the 9th, meetings on the 9th, meetings on the 16th. 9th, 9th. So they had a bunch of meetings, whole bunch of meetings on the 9th with a whole bunch of different, I mean, dozens of them. Or it was just the people who were at the table. The 9th was huge. Look at these guys. Everyone's there. So boom. And then the meeting before that was October of 2020. So if you guys, September, someone, September, a few more. Either they haven't had any meetings since April or they just haven't updated it. Something that's interesting. Thank you for bringing my attention. I was not paying attention to that. What's the name of the Muppet Eagle? The blue one that's always like, "Arr." That's my face. Chat just reset. Dang you, chat. Purportedly stupid super chats. You mentioned firing the board of AMC a few times now. I don't disagree, but how do we as shareholders do that? Purple monkey dishwasher. Well, there's got to be a nomination process. Let's see what's in the corporate AMC board member nomination process. Governance, investors, committee composition. Bam. Okay. So these are committees, members of the board, contact information, information request. That is just telling me who's on the board, not how to nominate. Composition. Oops. That's, yeah. Corporate governance guidelines. That's AMC networks. Oh, that's wrong. AMC. AMC bylaws. Association Minnesota counties. No. AMC. Board directors nomination sample letter. Apparently you might have to write a sample letter to send it in. I'd like to nominate this person. So if you can think of somebody you want to nominate, send it in. And I'm not sure what process it takes to get put on the ballot. Yeah. Something to look into. We find ourselves the apiest of the apes. Put them on the board of directors. Have them run things. Why not? Why not? Why not, indeed? Board nomination process for board members. Boardeffect.com. Okay, Robert's Rules of Order. So that's, yeah, I think I'll nominate somebody. So nominating committees, blah, blah, blah. Nominations to the floor. Nominations ballot for petition. All right. Looks like I have to do Robert's Rules, perhaps. Look at the corporate. If someone wants to look at their corporate charter and see how people are nominated, that's probably the best way. Under AMC corporate charter. Governance documents. AMC theaters. There we go. Bylaw nominating corporate governance committee charter. There it is. Nominating corporate governance committee. Shall assist the company's board of directors. Committee membership. Committee consists of 3 or 4 members of the board. No, I want to know how to nominate people members of the board, man. Not nominate people who are already on the board. Take it back. Take it back. Bylaws, insider trading policy, related certificate, corporation, bylaws. It's going to be in one of these. You guys want me to spend my entire show trying to find which one? So anyway, I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it into the chat. And somebody who wants to spend time going through all those, Boom. There it is. Find it in there, how you nominate somebody, and then we'll talk about that. Ding. Okay. Oops, let's get to here. Houston, when is your birthday? Sometime in the next year, isn't it? It's just me. His birthday is May 24th. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It isn't. Okay. You should ask Adam Aaron to come on a show. I don't know if that guy would come on my show at this point. He'd be like, no. I may have burned that bridge. I don't think Adam Aaron's going to come on here. I don't think he's going to come on here. Chances of bringing back the Glass-Steagall Act. The Glass-Steagall Act should have come back. It used to be that if you were a bank, you would take money from your customers and their savings and their checking and whatever, and that money will be used to give out loans. Here's some loans, and you'd earn your living as a bank getting the interest off of these loans. And if someone couldn't pay their loan, you would take their collateral, their house, their car, whatever, and you'd sell it, and you'd get your cash back. You also have insurance on these loans, as mortgages, things like that. And Glass-Steagall came about because prior to the 1929 crash, the banks were taking in people's money, and they were doing really risky bets on Wall Street with it. And then Wall Street went collapse, and they had no tangible assets left over. They had nothing. And so when people went to the bank to get their money back, the bank's like, I lost your money gambling on, corn futures or something. So Glass-Steagall made it against the law for the banks to be able to gamble people's money with insecurities. They had to just lend money out, and that's all they could make their money off of. They got rid of Glass-Steagall, and the banks were all of a sudden able to start gambling with folks' money again. And, boom times, the banks are like, I'm raking it in. Woohoo, making so much money. And then there's times when the mortgage-backed securities just completely vaporize. And, banks run out of money again. The difference now, between then and now, is that we've got the FDIC. So at least people's individual accounts are insured to $500,000 or $250,000, whatever it is. And so the government just goes, oh, sigh, and they throw some money that way. There are some dues and premiums that the banks pay for FDIC coverage, but it's, I don't think, anywhere near the amount as if a giant bank collapsed. That being said, the banks are significantly over-leveraged quite often. They were over-leveraged during the financial crisis in 2008 for mortgage-backed securities. They over-leveraged, 20, 30 to 1. And so they limited their amount of leverage they could be to 10 to 1, which still seems ridiculous that a bank who should be the ones like, I've got cash because people give me cash, and slow and steady wins the race for them. Why are they gambling with all that cash? But, quick money, people want it. I'm all for just making banks and not letting them play the markets. So, yeah. I think if everything is vaporized during MOAS, and there's all these hedge funds that are subsidiaries of the banks just evaporating, that we may see some Glass-Steagall reenactment or similar. Okay. Oh. Poorly stupid. I nominate you. I don't know the first thing about running movie theater. I just know that if you want your stock price to go up, you don't keep diluting. That's step one right there. Or if you do dilute, you got to do it a certain way. A la GameStop. Oh, Andrew McDonald's got some coordinates. Let's take a coordinate break here. Let's see what's in the coordinate land. And we go to coordinate man. Boom. Oh no. Oh shit, I closed Google Earth. Why would I do that? Alright, I'm gonna give it a minute. It's gonna take a sec. It's gonna come up. And come on, there we go. There it is. Boop, boop, boop. You're taking me. Going to New Zealand. The land of Zeal. South Island. Some big ass mountain. Looks like a road along. Is that a lake? Are we on a lake? Where are we? Or fjord, maybe. Well, look, big lake. Big ass lake. Boom. Devil's Staircase, that's what it's called. Oh. Alright, what we got? We got a parking lot. We got a steep cliff. We got a lake. We have something else here. Take me in. Take me all the way in. All the way in, baby. Boom. Ah. Lovely. Looks like might be some shale, maybe some schist. People parked on the side of the road. Got some lovely views. What a lovely drive this must be. This is kind of like the not too many trees. This is very much like lake country in the UK. Look at this. Look at this mountains. Falling rock. Watch out for the falling rock. We can drive along here all day. See where we are. Hopefully, GeoGuessr will take me here someday. Nice prev right there. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful, Andrew. Nice respite. Took a little vacation right there in the middle of our show. Visited New Zealand. A nice, wonderful, windy road that it's got the driving by braille, so you don't drift across lanes and get a head-on collision with someone. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, back here. All right. All right. William Morgan says SEC is working with AMC and GME to delay MOS. Oh, hi, buddy. How's it going? Are you a good dog? You are. You are a good dog, you little snoot. Yes. You going adventuring? What's happening? What's happening, little dude? Okay. Sir David P., the head of the CFTC, is a former Citadel Securities guy. He delayed reporting of many things. That sounds like shenanigans. Sounds like that guy should not be at the CFTC. Right? Makes sense to me. Machine Man, hey Houston, what happens if they drop the price before week 3 of this month? Well, that appears to be what they're doing right now. I don't think there's enough puts to go in the money. There's so many at below like $45 that I still think that a whole bunch of FTDs just appear out of that. It will depend upon what type of swaps they can do, if they can reset a bunch of those FTDs. But I don't think everyone's going to be as lucky. Someone along the way. I mean, they've got so many plays to pay attention to. Just imagine, like, you're a hedge fund. You're doing 1,000 plays a month or a day or whatever. You got entire floors devoted to shorting this, shorting that, doing this thing, resetting these FTDs, moving these things over here. And now you've got to take so much time and effort and focus on just like 3 or 4 stupid stocks that you made some bets on years ago. And now it's taking so much of your effort and time and attention. And every friggin' day, for 10 hours a day, you've got entire teams of people that would normally be making dozens of other plays and doing all sorts of other trades. They're now focused on, okay, we've got 110 million shares of GameStop that are fake, and we owe it to this brokerage, that institution, whatever, fake these people. And you've got to figure out every single day how to like do a maze. You got to make this money move around and these FTDs move around, and there's so many liabilities, and you're just day after day after day doing the same Sisyphus pushing a rock up a hill forever with just these stocks, and it's never going to end until someone gets out of the way of the rock. And we're waiting for that day. Waiting for Sisyphus to just get tired, man. Like, if you were an up-and-comer, you're coming out of an MBA program or a finance program, or you're a math genius, and someone from Citadel comes to recruit you. They're like, hey, you are a really smart math guy, and we want to take you under our wing. You, right here. And we want you to come to Citadel and work your magic. No one's going to be going to Citadel anymore. That is going to be such a grueling, brutal task, day in, day out, or to go work for one of these hedge funds. Maybe your dad works there, whatever, and that's how you're going to get in. But if you are a super genius, you're not going to work for one of these guys. You don't want it. Like, having to move the money around for the same silly stock day in, day out, every day for like ever, just shoot me. This is like maybe one of those guys may find the silver bullet, but I think it's just such a useless act that I don't know if they're going to be able to get the talent that they once had. And the people who are there are probably getting so burned out, and you probably pay them so much money to keep doing that job, to keep them on board, that eventually they're going to have so much money they're going to be like, I just don't care anymore. I can go start my own family fund and just do that. See you later. I am no longer your employee. None of this is my responsibility. I'm out. And I do wonder, like, what Citadel has to do and what these hedge funds have to do to keep talent, because it's got to be pretty demoralizing. Yeah, I can't. Like, people don't want to wait tables anymore. They want to work in kitchens. They're quitting their jobs. 4.8 million people quit their jobs in November. They're like, man, fuck this. I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to move on, because it's a jobs market, and people get jobs anywhere doing anything for more than what they're making before. There does come a time when you've got a 27-year-old pulling down 8 figures in bonuses and pay, and they're working 100 hours a week, and their hair's falling out, and their beard's getting gray, and they're, I don't know, having weird palpitations in the heart, and like, I'm 27. I can't keep this a cocaine habit up anymore. And I feel like I'm 50, and I've got $25 million in the bank. Why do I keep doing this? I can buy an island with that. I can go live in Mykonos. I can go party with girls in Rio. I can do anything except this, and why would I keep doing it? I mean, that's the way I think. Maybe they're like, oh, I'm going to make $100 million. I'm going to get $1 billion. I'm going to run my own fund someday. I guess that's the mindset. But man, it's grueling, boring work. And if you got the pile of money, if someone from Citadel is watching right now, tell me what makes you tick. I want to know. I want to know what your motivation is. What it is that allows you to do the same damn thing every day when you don't have to. Anyone who is working at Walmart who had that kind of money, you never see them again. Anyone who's working at a Denny's or dumping trash, or if they had the money you have, they would be sitting on a beach, man, or buying an RV and driving the country with their loved ones, whatever. They'd be doing something else with their life that was emotionally enriching, and I don't understand like how they keep anyone in those roles. I just don't get, especially right now with the fact that everything you do is just to survive, and none of it is actually like taking it to them. If your hedge fund's pulling down 40% in profit a year and people are killing it, awesome. But like half the hedge funds are losing money, and they're losing even more because now they got to pay you more to keep you around. Because if you disappear, who's going to run all those portfolios? No one. Plotkin's going to do it all himself. He doesn't want to do it. All right. Tow truck. Here's a good one. 50 degrees north, 14 east. We're somewhere in, was that Russia? Let's see here. Control V. Shabam. Oops, scene. There we go. We're flying. We're flipping upside down. We are in Ukraine. Where are we? 14 degrees east. This. Oh, this is the one. Someone sent this to me earlier. Probably not necessarily safe for work, but somebody painted a rather lewd lady on top of a building here. Where is this? Someone sent me a picture of this, but not the coordinates earlier today. Where are you? Novi Bor. We are in... Oh, we're in the Czech Republic. Ah. We're in Czech Republic. Up here, this is Bohemia, I think, technically. Like, how do you paint that? That's a pretty big area. How big is that thing? Not in miles. We'll do... So, 100 feet? 100 and something feet long. And 60 feet wide. That's a lot of paint, man. You gotta map that thing out. Gotta set up a grid system to be able to do that. I'm impressed for this abandoned building. Someone's still mowing the yard, though, for all the trash that's all around. But, fantastic. Way to go. Way to go, humans, and your ingenuity at putting porn into space. Okay. Chakuseki Super Chats. Why would Gradante and Peter Fry tell the truth out loud? Are they demented? Also, what's your favorite prehistoric era of creature? Okay, so Gradante, he's the hedge fund manager. He managed some mid-level funds that are like, billions of dollars in size. He's the one that was caught on video. He was at some sort of round table, and he's like, hey, FTDs, nakeds, options chain, MOAS. If you haven't seen the video clip, it's been circling around. I don't know, 10, 12 minutes of him just kind of spouting the truth. This is what they did, and this is what they're facing, and this is why retail is like giving the fingers to everyone. It's a good video. Why would they say the truth out loud? Because they're not in it. That they're probably running hedge funds that are doing just fine because they aren't trying to destroy companies with short attacks. They're probably doing other plays, because not all hedge funds do this stuff. There's some hedge funds that only invest in green technologies, right? There's some hedge funds that are just sin funds. They only invest in like cigarettes, beer, weed, and porn, guns, stuff like that. There's all sorts of weird hedge funds out there that do all sorts of different things. He just probably isn't one of those short attack hedge funds, which is, the guys that are getting evaporated right now, which I think is probably about half the hedge funds in the country are short hedge funds. He probably is just one of the other ones. He's fully aware of how they work and how they operate, and he doesn't have the liability, so he can talk all he wants. And his buddies are probably really mad at him for being loud about it. All right, favorite prehistoric era or creature? I mean, people always like looking at dinosaurs. They're cool and all, but I really like the weird little creatures that came out of pre-human North America. And pre-human South America is pretty cool too. But like, there were horses that were monkey butt size. And speaking of monkey butt, she needs... Yeah, there we go. There's a little monkey butt. Yeah, it's you. Talking about you. There were little horses, like dog-sized horses that had toes and didn't have hooves. That were in North America. And you can go to places like the Painted Hills in Oregon, and you can see their fossils. I mean, they're this big, and they got little toes. They didn't have hooves. And they're North American camels and all sorts of weird things. But I want more than anything is I want a saber-toothed tiger skull. I would love to see what a saber-tooth tiger looked like in person, but I think their skulls are just the coolest thing, and I want so badly to I don't know, go to the North Platte or somewhere and uncover my own saber-tooth tiger skull. I wish I could just go to the Badlands and just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, but I would go to prison if that happened. So I may have to find saber-tooth tiger skull on the legit market. One was dug up a long time ago because I might not be allowed to get my own. They're just so freaking cool. I want one, and that might be my favorite era. And then humans came in from Asia to the land bridge and just started eating everything. Om nom 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 nom. And there you go. Most of that stuff went extinct. All right. You agree, monkey? Would you like to see a saber-tooth tiger? You would. I know you would. I bet you're faster than a saber-tooth tiger. What do you think? Okay. Sam the Eagle, thank you. That's the name. That's the name of the blue eagle guy from the Muppets. Sam the Eagle, Sam the Eagle, Sam the Eagle. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, if you're an insider, you do have to apply to sell at least 30 days ahead of time. Like, hey, I'm going to sell these shares. This is what I'm going to do. That still doesn't stop insider trading from happening. Sometimes they'll say, I'm going to list these shares. I'm planning to sell them within this time period. Go. And then you see things like Elon Musk gets done selling his $30 billion in shares. And then they announce a giant recall of a quarter of all the cars they ever made. That probably had some insider trading involved with it. They probably scheduled that to happen as soon as he was done selling his shares. So they didn't combine the two. Nil 21981. Houston, who covers if a brokerage goes bankrupt and they never delivered real shares to you? The liability falls on whoever lent them the margin to create those fake shares. So if it was the market maker, they're going to be liable for that. If the prime broker lent them the margin, or an investment bank, they're now liable. Whoever is the next chain up that lent the money to make that stuff happen, they're the ones liable. Okay. And Sir David P says insurance. There are lots of insurance that gets made for certain plays. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I apologize, monkey. I will try not to do that again. What? Did I scare you with that? Did I scare you with that? I'm sorry. Yes, you little dog. You little dog. I know. I gotta get all my scratches in because in like 14 hours, I'm dropping you off. And you're not going to see me for 2.5 weeks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Get up on your bed. Or, okay, just come say hi then. All right. I'm a bit of a muppet myself. All right. We hold, we buy. Yes, Hamovic. That's exactly what we do. Hamovich. You go by Hamovich or Hamovic? Aaron Celentine, metamaterial squeeze to $70 manifested. I'm all for that. Let's get there. Let's do $70 metamaterial. I think it can. I think it can. A lot of people saying they want to nominate me for the AMC board. I mean, first time for everything, right? I've only been like board members of nonprofits so far, so it's see how it goes with a for-profit company, or just AMC's technically not for-profit at the moment. Their goal is to make profit. Let's put it that way. All right. Still no news on GME and LRC. Still no news. Someone was saying that the GameStop quarter ends on January 31st, not December 31st. I don't know. I never actually bothered to look that up. So, there could be clarity on that. Perhaps before December 31st. I would think that they're going to spend some time at CES. How much longer is CES anyway? It goes for all week, doesn't it? CES. Oops. CES. There we go. All right. Ends on... Oh, ended already. What? It already ended? Ended on the 8th? I thought it was going all week. What? Huh. All right. It's only 3 days this year. I think because of COVID, maybe. A lot of people pulled out. Well, bummer. I thought it was going all week. I thought they're going to do an announcement sometime this week, but I'm totally wrong about CES. Never mind. Ignore what I have to say. I'm an idiot because it ended on Saturday. Oh, well. One of these days I'll make it to a CES. My brother's got to go a bunch of times. Do you guys remember the Oakley glasses that were also MP3 players called Thumps? So, you put the glasses on, these little earpieces would come down, and the glasses themselves held like flash memory and a battery and would play your music for you without having to like plug in headphones or whatever. He was on the team that invented those things, and they spent a lot of time going to things like CES and meeting with vendors who made weird things. Pretty cool technology. There was a documentary made about when they made those. Is that it went from like, hey, I have an idea. Let's put some headphones in some glasses and make the glasses the MP3 player, and we'll get them on Lance Armstrong's head in time for the 2005 Tour de France. And they had like from when they had the idea to when the Tour de France began was like less than 3 weeks, and they got a working model on his head in that time. And my brother had to fly, I don't know, like 6 times back and forth between Southern California and like Singapore, Southern California and Shanghai, Southern California and Hong Kong, like meet all the vendors making chips and whatever else. He was very exhausted, but I'll have to find that documentary. It's out there somewhere. They made a whole, like, the industrial engineering world was like, what? How would you do that in 3 weeks? But back in his Oakley days when he was there. All right. When the big yellow one is the sun. Are you quoting my Twitter thread with the flat earther? Oh man, that guy. He's like, well, I'm gonna Google some pictures of Mercury, and gets a picture of Mercury, and it's like from the I think the Mariner mission or something. And it's all like kind of gray and black and white. And he gets another picture, and it's a picture of the sun with this tiny little dot of Mercury transiting the sun. It's just like 4 pixels. And he's like, how come in one image Mercury is this gray dark thing, in another image it's as bright as the sun? I'm like, because that's the sun, dude. The big yellow one is the sun. Oh, bless his heart. Bless Daniel's heart. He still owes me $1,000, but bless his heart. Okay. Ricky Bobby Houston, we have to vote for AMC dilution, right? If it's directly diluted. I don't think we have to if they renegotiate the debt into convertible bonds. I don't think that you have to vote on that. The board can just renegotiate that and be done with it. But if they want to directly sell and generate new shares, yes. The stockholders have to vote on that. So I guess we'll see exactly how they renegotiate their debt. Adam Aaron made a point last week. He said, hey, we're renegotiating debt. We're paying too much. We had to take on a bunch of debt to survive COVID, so it's not the greatest debt. It's high interest. It's a lot of money. Let's renegotiate. So well, I guess we'll see how they renegotiate that all. All right, it's 8:30. Got half an hour. I do have to go to bed early tonight. I got to wake up early and catch a plane. So we got that going for us. There's a lunar halo in Tennessee right now, says Jerry Diamond. Well, if you got a lunar halo, that means you got a bunch of ice particles floating in the air. So get a moon bow out of that stuff. Yes, it's just me. My birthday is not May 24th. Got 364 more guesses. Or perhaps 365. Yeah, to get it right. One of these days, someone will get it right. I may or may not let you know if you got it right or not. Every day is apparently my birthday. But I wasn't born. I was actually hatched. So that's the loophole in that whole thing. Oh, looks like Andrew McDonald's got another one for me. 168 degrees east. This looks like Japan, maybe? 45 degrees, 168. Maybe Korea? Where are we going? Soon. Google Earth. Bam. Shaboom, shebang, shabeep. Oh, we're south. Not, oh, shoot. Oh, no, that's where you took me. Never mind. Thought that was north. That's south. Oh, yeah, you already took me here. We went there. Did you repeat that, or did I just happen to get through the chat again and just see that one more time? Well, we already went there. We already did that one. Okay. Oh. And, oh, Iggy Limon. Sorry, Iggy, I missed your super chat there. Is it contracts and NDAs that keep talent at Citadel? Maybe. I mean, they might have NDAs, like non-disclosure agreements, that they can't reveal certain things they saw. But, if the NDA is to keep you from talking about something that's illegal, the NDA is invalid. So, if they're using loopholes that might not necessarily be legal to do certain plays, you can talk about it all you want. Because NDAs cannot keep you from talking from talking about a crime. If someone commits a crime, as a citizen, you're kind of obligated to let the world know. Now, the contracts could keep them there, but then again, if you've got millions of bucks, you don't need to work again. Who gives a shit? Leave. Be done with it. Right? And non-compete clauses might be in there as well. Although I think non-compete clauses should be ruled as illegal. Some states they are illegal, other states they aren't. So, you know, if you work for a company, it's one thing to like, you know, get a new job in the same field and steal all the tech from the other company you're working for. That stuff is not kosher. But you know, if you work for a car manufacturer building cars, you should be allowed to like work for another car manufacturer building cars, and not as long as you aren't stealing all their tech. There was instance, I can't remember which way it went. Was it the guys that were working at Google on the autonomous cars, and then they moved to like Uber and they stole all the technology? Or was it the other way around? That stuff totally illegal. Like you can't steal technology. That stuff's patented and whatever. But you know, knowing how to machine a part shouldn't preclude you from working for another place where you machine a part. And if you're in the financial sector, you know, and you trade stocks, it shouldn't preclude you from trading stocks with somebody else. That stuff seems to be, you know, should be allowed. But yeah, I don't know necessarily what's keeping everyone there. I mean, why would you want to work there? Why? Is it just so much like fun? Are they there every day and they're like, yes, this is amazing. I love coming into Citadel every day and just getting shit on by the entire world. I love it. I don't know. Maybe it was like clowns and strippers and juggling acts and gymnasts doing cartwheels or something. I don't know. I don't know what's keeping them so happy there. Luis Ventura. Random spikes are them looking for the fallen hedge fund shorted shares. They must buy back their original shorted shares in order to close out. This is true. If they want to buy back synthetics, it has to be the synthetics that they sold. So they're trying to find which ones are out there. Now, I'm sure they might be able to make some sort of deal like, hey, we'll buy up all synthetics and we'll just do some swapping with other hedge funds. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt if they're like sticking their fingers in some pies to figure out exactly whose is whose. So I don't think you're wrong there, Lewis. Or Luis. Lewis? Luis. Louis. Uh-oh. All right. My video buffering is terrible here. Sorry. Hopefully the audio's coming through. But it's got the yellow warning that the internet sucks. Right, monkey? The internet does suck. Okay. Exactly, BW brand. If I had enough money or resources to just cruise, I would. Seriously. Like, why not? Why not just cruise, man? Just cruise. And you can just work on pet projects, things you love. I don't know. Build birdhouses in the garage when you need a hobby. Help some kids at a homeless shelter or whatever. Like, there's other things you can be doing with your time that are rewarding and make you feel good. And you made your millions. Step out of the way and let somebody else come in and have their shot. Tinfoil jumpsuit. Hey, Houston, what do you know about post-theory science, where the advent of machine learning is doing away with traditional scientific method? Not enough, but I think I know what you're talking about. So machine learning is sort of trial and error. Like the machine's like, I'm going to try a million things and see which one works. And then, oh, this one worked. I remember that for later. That stuff's pretty cool. I don't know necessarily if it's doing away with science per se, but it's a way of, how would I put this? Like, water finds the path of least resistance, right? So you dump water on a floor, it's going to follow a channel, whichever is the easiest way to go. Machine learning is kind of a way of doing that. Like, there's a task, and the machine goes, I can try all these ways. Oh, that's the way that works. And then it gets to the next step along the way, and where there's a fork in the road, and it has to go, I'm going to try all these ways. Oh, I'm going to go that way. And it's a way of kind of finding an end result. It reminds me of, I was in like fourth grade. Yeah, it was fourth grade. Mr. Cram's class. And we got through all the lessons of the math book we had. And this girl, Alex, and I, we decided we're going to try and finish the book for the hell of it because I had nothing else to do. And we got to this whole section that was about long division. And neither of us knew long division. They teach us long division in fifth grade. So we hadn't learned long division yet. And so all these questions were about how to divide these things. And I figured out, like, hey, we can just do trial and error, and we can figure out how many times 5 goes into 200 or whatever. And so, I'll try 5 times 25. No, that didn't work. 5 times 27. No, 5 times 40. Ah, there we go, 200. And we were doing the hard way of doing division because we hadn't been taught the process. And so sometimes machine learning is kind of the hard way of doing something until you find that thing that works. And once you find that thing that works, then you go backwards and figure out why it worked. It's interesting though. The advent post. I'm going to read more about post theory in the end, but that's pretty cool to think about. I'm not sure how we'll end science because there's some questions that scientists have to ask, and maybe the machine can solve it for them by trying a billion different things. Not to read up on that. Thank you for that, though. Tinfoil jumpsuit. Dawn. This is the guy who had his last cigarette with Vonnegut. I'm lonely tonight. Wanted to say, now I feel much better here in the Houston fam with y'all. Oh, welcome, Dawn. It's we're that time of year, man. It's dark. It's gloomy. It's COVID-y. We're all stuck at home. Come on in. We'll embrace with a big hug for another 21 minutes until I got to finish all my packing and get the fudge out of here. And then I don't know when I'll be able to do a show again. My guess is I land Wednesday and I'll probably just sleep for 24 hours. And then ski on Thursday. So maybe a show sometime during trading hours for you folks on Thursday, because that starts at what 3:30 p.m. my time there. I'll get done skiing, get back around 4, shower, eat some food. So it might be like 10, 11 a.m. your time, somewhere in there by the time I get around to doing it. So keep that in mind. Thursday will be like early shows. It'll be Houston. It'll be after dark for me over there, probably. But early for you guys. And I don't know necessarily how much energy I'll have for skiing, because I'll probably ski for like 2 days and then need to be in traction for like 2 days and then ski for a couple more, because I haven't done any of my athletic pursuits since summer, and my body is old and wretched. All right, Project Sun, let's get to 250 likes. Oh yeah, likes. Someone sent me post-it notes, and I'm going to put a post-it note right now that says like and subscribe. Boom. Like and subscribe in my poor handwriting. It's going right there on the monitor. Like and subscribe. And now I'll see that and I'll get so used to it, I'll overlook it and then forget to say like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, share, high five people, do practical jokes, and pet every animal you come across. There's your bumper sticker for the day. Speaking of which, remember, send self-addressed envelopes and I will send you a Houston We Have a Problem sticker. I've got 97 of them left, 98 of them left. But just know, those are going to be sitting in my P.O. box for a while. Address is in the description below. P.O. Box 4645, Rollingbay, Washington, something, 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 something. All right, exclusive 605. Houston, I'm a bit delayed from live, and you just asked about Citadel, folks. Fun fact, I've worked for Interactive Brokers, hedge fund just last year, got offer from Citadel, but unfortunately not as a business dude, but as an engineer. So like engineer for programming trading computers, things like that. Interesting. Like what was their pitch? Did I talk about that? Like what they offer an engineer for one of their firms? I'd be interested. Oh, we got more Russian bots coming in. Fantastic. Might have more Russian bots because Friday, Jamie and I spent so much time ragging on Putin. They're both like, "Ugh, comrade, we must make entire wing of our troll farm focus on Houston and Jamie's show now." All right. Bad Summit says, I agree about Switzerland. Switzerland, my favorite country I've ever been to. Mount Pilatus and Lucerne, awesome. I've not been to Lucerne yet. The only place I've ever really explored in Switzerland is Graubünden, where my friends live. So Zurich, south end of the mountains, and made it to St. Moritz before. We're going to be going to Zermatt and seeing the Matador, because my Icon Pass gets me free skiing there, so might as well go. We may, I'm there for so long, I might take it, maybe going to the Dolomites, maybe going to Austria for a day or two, and just, ski, because the trains go everywhere. You just hop on the train and you're skiing all of a sudden. It's awesome. So why not? Book a room or two. I'm sure rooms are cheap because Omicron's going everywhere. And, if I'm going to get Omicron, I might as well be in a Swiss hospital than an American one at this point. Right, Switzerland? I love you guys. Okay. Coffee, donuts, and Homer. What happened with Zynga, ZNGA today? Merger pending. Did a 21 times average volume. Couldn't break 875 a share. Dark pool shorting. I don't know. ZNGA. Zynga looked totally flat all day long. Volume. Where's volume? Where are you, volume? Why aren't you listing here? Take-Two Interactive to buy Farmville creator Zynga for $12.7 billion. Okay, so the market cap's 9.45, but they're going to buy it for 12.7. Seems like a way for that stock to go up. People still play Farmville? When I was teaching at the Art Institute, this might have been like, I don't know, maybe my second year teaching there. And when I would teach my algebra class, I would tell them right off the bat. And I was like, hey, I'm teaching algebra. And all of you in this room, whether you are culinary, game design, fashion design, interior design, music production, what I'm going to be teaching you is going to be useful in every single solitary one of those career fields. You might not think so, but if you ever question it, you're like, hey, what the hell am I going to use this for? Tell me, and I will do an example problem on the board of how it can directly apply to whatever field you're going into. And they always try that crap. They'd be like, oh, I'm a chef. What the hell am I going to use this for? My cost-benefit analysis? Let's say you open up a restaurant in Miami Beach and you got to sell hamburgers. And you discover that you can sell your hamburgers for $15 a hamburger, but you're losing money. You've got customers out the door and you're losing money. We can do a cost-benefit analysis, do a best fit curve, and figure out what your peak sale price for your hamburgers are. And maybe you need to sell less hamburgers, but at $20 a hamburger. And all of a sudden, you're making money hand over fist. And you don't have to have as much staffing and all this stuff. So do things like that. This one girl was in game design, and she was asking me, like, what would I use this equation for if I'm making video games? I'm like, dude, you're programming. What is wrong with you? Like, this right here is the equation for gravity, and is the most important equation when you're making a 3D game. Like, this is the game. This is the number you attach to everything, every object inside of your game if you want to make it like a real world. She rolls her eyes or whatever, and then I catch her playing Farmville on her computer while I'm doing my lecture, and I'm like, you're into game design and you're just playing Farmville? Like, why don't you play something cool on your game, on your computer, while not paying attention to what I'm saying? That was 10 years ago. Yeah, it's probably like 2012 maybe. So people still play Farmville? I had a nephew when he was 5 who was addicted to, was it like Crops and Zombies or something? What was it? Like, you like plant zombies, like Farmville zombies. Must be one of those Zynga games also. More power to him. I don't know why I'm talking about that stuff, but I think I made me think of that. They were huge like 5-10 years ago. Well, they were at $12 back in February. And then when they went public in 2012, they were $13. They never really got that huge. They dropped down and people stopped playing Farmville, I guess. They must be back to playing it now that they're all sitting at home during COVID. All right. Shima, I wonder if the greed comes from being surrounded by peers that are bloodthirsty constantly. Like, oh, Joey only made 10 million. What a joke he is. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that, you know, it's a field that probably really concentrates the personality disorders. You know, if you ever read or watched American Psycho, like he's got the double embossed business card or whatever. Like, there are some weird things that can really, like, make the competitive thing fly. I mean, there is a different animal that comes out when you're competing. If you've ever played, you know, a somewhat higher competitive level of sports, people who are totally easygoing, lovely folks can turn into just animals. One of my friends is one of the nicest, kindest, most loving people I've ever met in my entire life. But playing soccer with him, I saw a side of him that came out that was just violent and mean and win at all costs. That it just was like, where did this creature come from? You know, Mr. Hyde. Yeah. So there's certain when you're in it, certain personalities that I guess can come out. But then again, having millions of dollars, and being able to fuck off to wherever you want, hang out, not to work again, is probably why I'm not working at one of those places. Because I'm like, I don't want to do that. Project Sun, Houston, how bad is the potential on this new Frankenstein variant? Are you talking about the one that was found in Malta or something, or Cyprus, one of those places, somewhere in the Mediterranean? It's got a bunch of things from Delta and a bunch of things from Omicron. It seems to have found this happy median. And what I think will be curious to see is if it has the infectiveness of Omicron but the severity of Delta, then we might be dealing with a terrible monster. If it's got the effectiveness of Delta and the severity of Omicron, things might be looking up. But Omicron's still worse than the original Wuhan version and Alpha that came out. So it's not that great. It's just really, really infective, really transmissible. I mean, you can just look at the charts. It's just a straight line. It's asymptotic. It's just to the moon is what the graph for Omicron is what we want the graph for MOAS to be. Let's put it that way. We want those kind of numbers for us. All right, people talking about GME bottoms. Well, it'll bottom where it bottoms. They still aren't closing their positions. They still can't afford to do that. They can afford to close positions at like $10 a share. That's anything above that, they can't close. Fly high. Houston, did you buy the dip today? No, I had no internet today. I couldn't buy anything. I was cut off from the world. I only started getting my news when I had to run out and do errands and check the P.O. box, and my phone started exploding because I had better cell service outside of my house than inside my house. Aaron Salentine, my average on GME is 220. Hope we gamma squeeze. If you got any cash, might be time to average down, my friend. If you can. All right, got like 10 minutes left here before I've got to just, go back to life and do life things. Oh, out of money, average down. Sorry, my man. It happens. Sometimes you're like, I'm tapped out. All I can do is just coast and hope it get back up there. Okay, so Bones says GameStop Corp's fourth quarter ends at the end of January. Noted. Okay. So we still got time for their fourth quarter announcements. I thought it was December 31st, but apparently I'm wrong. All right. NVIDIA announced some badass video cards at CES, I see. Okay. Earth is dinosaur shaped. Yeah. Like my cookies. All right. Oh, the Sun comments from Brian Reagan comedy routine. Okay, I'll check that one out because it's pretty similar to what I was trying to point out to Flat Earther guy. Flat Earther guy. Oh, buddy. I just, it has to be performance art at this point. I don't think anyone can legitimately be that much of a bonehead. It makes me think of Wimp Lo from Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and that his Kung Fu school taught him Kung Fu wrong as a joke. And so he thought, getting kicked in the face was him winning. That is Flat Earther guy. He is so wrong about everything that it just has to be a joke at this point. Either his parents did it to him on purpose, or he really is just that sad. I just can't imagine not looking up and realizing that you can see the moon during the daytime. If you guys haven't looked up for the fact that you can see the moon during the daytime, someday look up and you may see the moon out during the daytime, because it happens and it is possible. And therefore, the phases of the moon are not tied to the shadow of the earth. The moon only gets the shadow of the earth when it's being eclipsed. The rest of the time has to do with what way the light was coming from. So like, got this ball, right? With this big bright light, you are seeing full moon of that ball. If I were to stick it off to the side, you would get, a half moon of that ball. The phases happen that way. Okay. It's just me. If the Earth was actually round, then why don't we fall off into space when it rotates? Oh, that's another one. Yeah, gravity buddies. Gravity, man. And it's not accelerating. And it's not, it didn't start at 0 and all of a sudden go to 1,000 miles an hour. We've been going at 1,000 miles an hour the entire time. Oh yes, rest in peace, Bob Saget. Bob Saget was the dirtiest, filthiest, absolutely most degenerate comedy show I've ever seen in my entire life. That guy worked blue better than anyone ever. And he was typecasted as like this family friendly guy. He was so dirty and so filthy. So freaking funny. Oh man. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. You cracked me up, you dirty, filthy man. I loved it. All right. Whoop. All right. Yes. Get Reels messaging me. I don't know. Can I send you a show? Send you the file? Man, I don't know how to send that to you. Get Real, but I'll figure out something. Okay. I have to download it myself because I didn't hit the record button because I'm a stupid idiot. I should have post-it note says hit record, you big dumb idiot. So I don't know how I'm gonna send it to you. We have to download it also and then send it to you, which seems like it'll be a double whammy. But it's only the first 12 minutes is all you need. First 15 minutes, because you got my rant in there about my how I'm going to sell. My ladder method. All right, I got 5 minutes left, everybody. What we got? The Aristocrats was... if you've seen the Aristocrats documentary, watch it. It's brilliant. It's got some of the best comedians in there. And they're just telling the same joke over and over again. It just gets dirtier and filthier. And Bob Saget's is wonderful. His version is wonderful. His and Gilbert Gottfried, I think, are the two best in there. And then there's Drew Carey's. BTW Brand, watching me at 1 speed is a little painful. You're always in here watching me at 1 speed. All right. Well, whatever, man. You can watch me at super hyper chipmunk speed if you want. Danny Hefe, he's just run for Congress this coming November. I mean, my congressman, he's kind of boring, but he doesn't seem to piss anybody off. I don't know if I stand a chance. We're very blue here, and he's kind of tepid blue. He doesn't really take much stance on anything. I can go carpet bag somewhere, maybe. Supreme Pig Roach, Houston, best place for a long-term bunker. Like a survival bunker? I mean, if you're going to go somewhere for the apocalypse, you can't go wrong with a tropical island. Like, one with mountains on it, because you got there's lots of different climate zones. You're gonna have rainforest. You're always gonna have water. You're always gonna have food. You can't go wrong there. But like building a bunker, so you can bug out from your home wherever it is in Detroit or wherever you live in. Man, probably want temperate and not buried in snow. That's always great. You want ample rainfall in case your water source dwindles. You want to be able to at least do catchment. right? If you get into regions that are normally high desert, but have mountain regions with forests and stuff, probably good place to go, because you're gonna get orographic lift. You're gonna get guaranteed rainfall. You might have snowfall in the wintertime that you gotta deal with, but then that's just water you can melt. You got wood to burn if you need heat. Yeah, so people always bug out to the mountains. Fewer people, always gonna have water supplies. Why not? Why not? Okay, it's 9 o'clock my time. Let us bid adieu. Monkey butt, where'd you go? Where did the monkey butt go? She just fucked off and left me here. Okay. Shima. Is it weird for kids? Drew Carey's the host. They don't even know about Bob. Yeah, Bob Barker. I mean, it's weird to see Drew Carey as the host of a game show when his sitcom. The Drew Carey Show was so fantastically funny. That was my favorite sitcom until probably Community came along. Drew Carey Show was so weird and so funny. Absolutely just off the wall. And some of the best improvers ever on that show, just chef's kiss. If you have a chance to go watch Drew Carey Show, watch Drew Carey Show. All right, everybody. I'm shoveling off. Next time you'll see me, I'll be in Switzerland. So, ta-ta for now. I bid you adieu. And catch you guys maybe Thursday? Whatever. Click.